What's up, you guys? It's Stephanie and
Wendy.
And this is Two Woke Girls today. And
we are doing a woke edition today.
We are gonna really do it today.
We're gonna wake up.
So a little bit about what we're gonna be talking about is, of course, the Trump administration. There is just too much going on to not acknowledge it. But we are gonna try to keep it light, as it is a little bit heavy.
Sad situation.
Very sad. Very sad. Unfortunate situations. We, not only are we women, but we are minorities. Double minorities.
Oh, yeah.
So we feel the impact, but...
Absolutely. I think compared to, like, men, at least, like, comparing it, like, my experience to my fiance, he doesn't understand, like, the worry and the fear that I have as a woman and a woman of color, like, in this day and age. Like, they don't get it.
They don't.
So we're here to hopefully spread the message and get people to understand.
Because as you all know, our social media is being censored. No matter how much you try to block Facebook or Meta or Instagram, if we're still being censored.
Absolutely.
So hopefully this doesn't get censored. Shout out to Aaron. He is our producer, we'll say.
Our editor
in chief. But we're going to try to keep it light as possible.
We'll try not to get canceled either.
Well,
because that's not going to happen.
Possibly. You know, you're getting to know us. We'll get to know you. It's, it's a learning curve. And so basically, specifically, I wanted to talk about the Supreme Court case that just ruled against the Trump administration. In the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, he was a U.S. citizen, was wrongfully deported last month to El Salvador. And the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that he needs to be returned to the U.S. And now the White House is arguing that they do not have the jurisdiction to do so. I do not understand, because they had the jurisdiction to send him. So was he sold to El Salvador? Or
what happened?
What was the deal with that transaction?
That is murky waters.
Exactly.
You don't know why that happened, because you're saying that he's a U.S. citizen.
Exactly.
And he got deported. Like, is he from El Salvador? Is that why they sent him back?
No, that's where they're sending every quote unquote criminal illegal, which he was a citizen, not even a criminal. Ridiculous. And it's just, it's racial profiling at its finest. There is no reason, even we sense the difference in, we go out, people stare, different races stare at us a little differently now. And it's always been there, the microaggressions, but I feel like people are now a lot more comfortable expressing their aggressions,
their hate
towards people of color, specifically right now, the Hispanic community. And it's just a horrible thing to see.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what goes on. It could be a social media post about a Latino, Latina, whatever. And the comments immediately are send them all back, deport them, this and this. And you're just how are you assuming that this person who is not the same skin tone as you, how are you assuming that they are an illegal immigrant here? You don't know who they are. How are you jumping to this conclusion already? Yeah. Which is probably the case that happened here. They just jump to the conclusion. You're illegal. Bye.
Exactly. And so I'm Mexican American, but I have never felt that I belong to either country, because I'm not wanted in Mexico. And we all know that, you'll go visit, they could tell your accent's different. They know your Spanish is a little off. No matter how good or fluent your Spanish is, they know you're not from there. And you get treated differently. And although the President Claudia has said, she welcomes us, she, with open arms, that's not entirely true for the people of Mexico. They're a little off put by us, you know.
Stuck in their own, their old ways, I feel.
They are. So it's even if we were to go back, we're not really welcomed in Mexico. I myself do not want to go to Mexico. I no hate on Mexico. It's just, that's not my home. I don't know. I'm not familiar. That's not somewhere I want to be. And now here isn't even somewhere I want to be either, but I don't know where I would want to go.
At this point, nowhere. Like, there's no specific place that I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm going to run away over here. Because the immediate choice would be Mexico, right? Like, obviously, if you... Like, I'm half as well, like Mexican and American. So I'm like, I would go to Mexico for sure.
Yeah.
But then you're right. Like, you do feel like discrimination. You feel a little bit
unwelcome.
Like, yeah. So I'm like, why would I put myself through that?
But it's just like, we experienced that here as well.
Yeah.
And I myself, I was born here. I was raised here. My parents were born here, raised here. And it's just like, this is all I know. And then to be labeled by other people as an immigrant that I don't belong here, I'm like, it's so confusing to me because this is all I know.
Yeah, you're born here.
Like, I am an American.
You are, by definition, American.
I might not look to their standards, but who does except Native Americans? They are the true Americans. So when people speak arrogantly and say that go back to your country, okay, so you go back too. Where are you from? Ireland?
Yeah, go back to Ireland. I'm sure they'll welcome you there.
Exactly. Like, everyone left their countries to form the United States, and I think that's what makes the United States so special.
Yeah.
Because we are just every culture combined. This is where everyone everyone came here to create their own home, their own life. It's written in our Constitution, natural born citizens. You know,
it's ridiculous because going off of like how like the settlements and everything, how this country was founded, we literally were founded by immigrants. Like, doesn't matter which way you want to go. If you want to talk about slavery, if you want to talk Native American, if you even want to talk about the settlers, the colonizers, they're not from this land.
Exactly.
Like, they're not.
So who's to say who belongs and who doesn't? If that's really the case, make it even across the board. Don't just target a group of minorities because you don't like that you see that they're starting to excel. They're starting to become the majority. If that's the case, then do something for yourself. If you're threatened about your job or if we're taking jobs supposedly, but I don't see them with the same degrees. I don't see them with the same qualifications to be getting the jobs. That's another story. But if you're so worried, make yourself qualified to take the job back. Like, if that's really the case. But
it's crazy because they have the opportunity to go as far as they want compared to us who are like people of color or immigrants or whatever status we have. We don't have the advantages that these people who were born here, the white people, the people who are hating on us, they have all these opportunities to go so far. Exactly. And yet they don't take them.
And we had to fight for opportunities. We had to fight to end segregation and we had to fight to make DEI. And now to have it taken away slowly, it's just... It's like, it's because they feel threatened or like there's no reason. Everyone should have the right. We're all people. No one is less than another. Yeah. And this is what I hate to say, it really pisses me off because girl, what are you talking about? Like, that's like, you know, what if the minority, I know right now it is Caucasians, like they're becoming the minority. But could you imagine a world where they were treated the way actual minorities are treated? That would never pass because you know what? Actual minorities like you and me are not as hateful and vengeful. Yeah. And I think it's a cultural thing. I think it's an upbringing.
You are taught to hate.
You are taught
or to be racist. Exactly. Like, you are taught that from a young age.
No one is born racist.
No, you'll see like little videos on TikTok or whatever of a baby reaching out for like someone who's not their same race. That just proves like, no, like babies who are so like genuine, they are not seeing color. They are not seeing grace. They are not displaying those racist tendencies that perhaps their parents do. Exactly. So it comes down to the point, like their parents are definitely setting them up. Like, they are instilling these ideals in them and these thoughts, and here we are like 20 years later when they're grown up, when it's a learned behavior, and they are acting crazy.
And you know what's crazy? Now I'm kind of like I hate to say it, but I kind of see a Caucasian person now. Now I'm kind of like double checking. I'm like, oh, am I safe here?
Yeah.
Like now it's reversed. Yeah. Now it's like we're scared of like what are they gonna do? Low-key, let me hold my purse.
I'd be locking my door. I'm just like, I see you walking by. Lock that door real quick.
They are so hateful and vengeful for no reason, and it's just like for us just existing.
Why? Like why is my existence like living in your head rent free?
Exactly, girl.
Move on with your life. Like you have other things you should be like focusing on.
If you're so worried about me, pay a bill. Like don't.
Girl. Pay for my education, per favor.
Yeah. Like and you know what? Ridiculous. I hate that they're so hateful because they're missing out on like amazing cultures and experiences and
happiness, pure happiness. Like just being able to go into and experience someone else's culture, their thoughts, their ideas, their food. Oh my gosh. Like the amount of life you could be living.
Exactly. But you know what's crazy? They love their Taco Tuesdays.
They do. They sure do.
Hate the people who make them.
Which is crazy. Like very, very contradicting.
Very entitled behavior.
Absolutely.
Like
for shame.
Exactly. And it's
getting me upset.
It is upsetting. It is upsetting to see to see everybody being just racially profiled. Like, and it's just like right away, like send him to his country. Like how he was, how he was taken. Kilmar was taken. He was racially profiled and sent to El Salvador to a terrorist confinement center. And you know what's crazy? Recently someone posted on TikTok that if you were to look on Google Maps like a week ago, you could see in the prison or the camp, right? Whatever they want to label it as these days.
Concentration camp. That's literally what it's turning into.
No, it is.
Yeah.
In the images, you could see bodies piled. You could see blood out on the courtyard. And it's very apparent. Like, it's not like, oh, someone just spilled something. For the entire courtyard to be like stained red and brown and with bodies. And so if you look at the image now, you'll see that now it just looks like a green grass. Like they filtered the image.
Cover up.
Google Maps filtered the image to just show grass in the courtyard, which grass does not grow overnight. And you would have to take away all that concrete. That's, let's be real for a second. And this prison is notorious for never letting a prisoner escape. So that means they're always at full capacity. But they keep taking in inmates, but no one ever leaves. So what do you think that means? What do you think they're doing to the inmates?
They're ethically cleansing.
They are.
That prison. And I'm not sure if you know like the backstory about the prison. I'm not sure if it's the same one, but their new president in El Salvador, who is not even from El Salvador. He's from, I think, Germany or something like that. I'm like, we'll have to do a fact check. But he came to El Salvador and he immediately started jailing everybody who had tattoos, who was like a criminal, like for any reason, he would send them to jail. So he's literally ethically cleansing that country. And for America to come in and send like whoever they want, deporting them to that prison, they're literally just setting them up for a death sentence. They are going to die. They're going to pass away.
It is. And I just think it's terrible. And I honestly, truly believe that Kilmar Garcia is not even alive anymore.
I don't think so.
Because if it was really like just a holding center until they're re-legalized into our system the correct way, as he says, even though he was already a citizen, right? I really, truly believe he will not come back unless he's in a body bag. And I have a feeling that the White House is going to try and say like, oh, he committed suicide or he got in a gang fight out there. Yep. They're going to blame some type of
bull crap.
Exactly. And it's just, he's already dead. I hate to say to his family, but there's no way he's alive.
The fact that they haven't had communication with him for like a month. Like that is so sad. Like I could only imagine the pain that family is dealing with to know that you come to a country or you're born in a country or you have residency, citizenship in a country who is very big on freedom.
Exactly.
And just to have it being taken away so quickly with your whole life, like,
exactly.
diminishing, it's insane.
It just doesn't even matter anymore. It was never about entering the country legally. It was never about paying your dues, paying your taxes. Because even that, immigrants pay taxes, and they were promised that if they kept paying taxes, it would help them get their green card, get their residency, go to citizenship. They needed to prove they would contribute to this country.
Yeah.
And now with the IRS, they're going to use
information.
They're going to use the system they made to help these people to target them,
which is ridiculous. Now that the IRS and ICE are teaming up to get and share information with each other, that is going to affect the country so much that I don't even think Americans or the government realize. A lot of immigrants pay so much money and they get nothing back. They don't get Medicare. They don't get none of that. They don't get no benefits. So every piece of money that they are contributing, they never see back. But what they're going to do now, immigrants are going to be afraid. They're not going to want to pay taxes. And that is definitely going to lead to less money for the government, less money for us. And then who are they going to blame?
They're going to blame us.
They're going to blame us.
They're going to keep blaming us.
They always are going to blame us.
They've been blaming us.
Shooting themselves in the foot. I don't understand.
And you know what? It's intentional. Yeah. It really is intentional. I truly believe that Donald Trump and his team are trying to destroy the economy. And we've seen it. They are destroying the economy so that they could buy their stocks. They could do whatever they want, sell the land, sell the trees. Yeah. They are destroying everything to make a profit. And it's like, for what?
At what cost?
Honestly, look at their age. They are not going to live that long. So it is just pure greed to just destroy an entire nation for money.
A great nation at that. Well, at least
I wouldn't say great.
At least we were.
We were okay.
Like 10 years ago.
We were okay. I don't think
all of this mess.
I truly don't think this country has ever been amazing or great. Like, it definitely has more opportunities than other countries, but it has never been inclusive, inviting. You know, it's never been like such a welcoming country.
Never.
Where everybody is equal, everyone, you know, because even that, like, with him taking away like all of our opportunities.
Yeah.
He took away our Department of Education, and now that's going to affect everybody, minorities, people that maybe are less fortunate in the economy. They are not going to be able to get the education they deserve.
Yeah. College students.
He wants to keep us dumb. And he wants to keep us controlled. Because then what power do we have as a people? And I don't think this is even like a right or left issue. This is a people versus its leaders issue at this point. Yeah. And I really hope that those followers that he still has just wake up and realize that he is using you. He does not care for you, just like he did not care for those Latinos for Trump. Some of them were deported. Like, open your eyes and see you are being used.
Yep.
You are not gonna benefit from anything he's saying. Yeah, he made like, oh yeah, you'll get a big tax reimbursement. Sweetie, that was only for the 1%.
Yeah,
that was never going to affect you. If you're on minimum wage, you really aren't going to be, you're not going to be benefiting from those laws he's passing. Those laws he's passing are for him to benefit. It's not for you. It's not for the general public. We are not prioritized in this economy, in this government.
Nope.
We are being used.
We just need to open our eyes and just...
We do need to open our eyes.
Realize that. But you know what? Kind of off topic that just came into my brain. How are we going to let a man who allegedly pooped himself at a funeral, why are we going to let this man who allegedly wears diapers influence us?
This is what I mean. He is so old, so out of date, so out of touch, and he's doing all this to get a paycheck. who he might not even live to enjoy, honestly.
He's not going to cash that bad boy in.
Because what is his age? He is not
He's
that
78.
Young. He's girl.
78.
He might be out in the next year or so.
By the end of this term, he's going to be 82. Let that sink in.
If he makes it, he is 82. Not the most healthy man.
His physical just came out yesterday saying that he weighs 230 pounds and all this good stuff. And I'm like,
if he's 200 pounds, then I'm 50 pounds. Because what scale are we on that he's 200 pounds?
That's what I said. I was like, this can't be right. I'm like, something sounds fishy. But I mean, what, like...
He probably hired a secretary, labored her a doctor, and told her to write he's 200 pounds on some paper. Just like all his other unqualified employees in our office that we did not elect.
Elon Musk.
That we did not elect.
Definitely not. He's actually an immigrant.
He is an immigrant from South Africa.
And he's in our government.
Exactly.
Why is nobody questioning that?
And here's the other thing. You guys hate minorities so much. Elon's African.
Yeah.
Why don't you hate him?
He's controlling our government money. He's trying to cancel all these benefits for Medicare. He's trying to eliminate jobs.
And who is he to speak on? He's not any genius. He's not anybody. He's just a rich guy with money.
Who stole an idea from somebody else, allegedly.
And this is exactly what they do. They have their money. They buy a company, appoint themselves CEO, make it seem like it's all their idea. Because all the workers, all their ideas fall under the CEO. So it's really always the CEO's idea.
Yeah, they benefit.
So
we don't.
This man has not done anything except invest and sell.
Yeah.
And now he's investing and selling.
Our government. Our country. The people in this country. Case in point. You know what? Like going back to talking about the deportation of that man. I wonder what Salvador is gaining from this. Like, what do they get? Obviously, they're accepting the 100%. Deportations there.
100% they're getting paid.
But at what cost? Like, what do they get out of it? Like, are they getting money? Like, are they getting protection from America? Which I wouldn't doubt.
I wouldn't doubt they're getting protection. They're getting weapons.
Military contracts.
They're getting insider trading. They're getting everything. I would not doubt for a second because even in Congress right now, they are insider trading. Now that the stocks are like pennies.
Yeah.
Guess who? Everyone that's rich.
And so out in the open too. They're not even trying to like hide it. I feel as if they're trying to do so much and trying to see how much they can get away with while us, the public, is turning a blind eye and is carrying on with our day to day with all these new pieces of information coming out. Crazy. No one's paying attention to what is truly happening.
Do you remember when Martha Stewart accidentally, supposedly insider traded, but she really didn't? And
I think so.
The public hated on her so hard for it. And now we have our leaders. Mind you, Martha Stewart is just a homemaker. She's like a TV personality. Our congressmen, our leaders, our president are insider trading, and they do not care that you know. They're even letting you know how great they're doing.
He literally tweeted in his social media platform to buy the stocks now. He's saying buy the stocks now. They're at an all-time low.
And you know, when he tweets those things, just so you know, the general public, those messages are not for you. Those are for his buddies, the other 1%. Like, hey, we did it. Go do this. But he makes it seem like it's for the general public, as if no hate on anyone from the southern states, but as if someone from a southern poor state could afford to buy stock like that.
Yeah. Or or even knows how to.
The message is not for you. The message is not for us. Like, it is not for the general public. It is for his buddies, and he's broadcasting it in plain sight. And you guys do not realize this. We are being used.
Yeah, everything is culminating to the end of this nation. It is so terrifying. Like, personally, as a woman of color, or just a regular person who lives in this country, I am worried every day what comes out next.
Exactly.
Are we closer to war? Like, are the wars coming here?
We're censored. We don't even know if there's a war. Other countries have advised that they're prepping for war, and we don't. We don't hear anything about it.
We don't know crap.
And this is so similar to Nazi Germany.
Yep.
How did that start? Oh, first the minorities had to identify if they actually belonged here.
Yep.
And then they started... Let's get into it.
Yeah.
They started taking the minorities they thought were criminals to jails and holding cells to make sure they weren't hurting the general public, which then led to sending them to concentration camps.
Seems very similar.
And we've already seen...
That's happening right now.
We've already seen he's fear-mongering with canceling the flight safety.
Yeah.
So now people are scared to leave. And we're kind of getting stuck here, and we're getting more and more stuck because if you try to get a passport, of course, you're going to go on the record and be like, oh, this is where I live. I'm trying to leave. Guess what? Suddenly you're going to be deported.
Yeah, it is so scary. Going back to talking about how Trump has eliminated these projects and programs and all these safety aspects that we have. He started, like, one of the first few things that he did when he took office this term was to fire air traffic controllers to save money, like, for the government. And what happens when you fire air traffic controllers?
That is
all these planes crashing, burning, falling from the sky. And who's getting blamed for that? Nobody. They're blaming it on the DEI hires because they're a man or they're a woman of color, a man of color that's flying these airplanes that they're crashing.
Could you imagine? That's like saying, hey, to save on electricity costs, let's cut all the traffic lights throughout the country.
That's stupid. But you know what? And
think about it. That's exactly what they did, but in the air. And people don't realize that. Like, there's nobody in control up there.
There's no one talking about this. Like, they are purposely trying to keep us silent so we don't figure out what's going on. They are making us so fearful, and it's working. Like, I'm fearful that when I take a plane next time, like, I was on a plane recently and it kind of like did a little dip. I thought I was going to lose my life.
Exactly. Yeah. And not even that. They are censoring us so much. They are even censoring schools now. They are not letting them read certain books. And that's always been a thing. But now they're not even mentioning like the Holocaust. They're not even talking about major issues either. And why do we learn from these issues? So that we do not repeat history. And so exactly what Hitler did, he cleared out the arts. He cleared out the education. He kept his people kind of just dumb and compliant. And that is exactly what he is trying to do to our public, to our nation.
And I feel like he has made it a point to emphasize how stupid his followers are.
Oh, he has.
There have been interviews, there have been leaked audios where he's like, don't do anything. They're stupid. They're dumb. They don't know what they're talking about.
This isn't even from, oh my God, I just remembered. I saw a video of MAGA supporters being interviewed, and it was Trump talking about something scandalous, of course, always.
Not shocked.
And a lady was fingering herself in the interview, watching Trump speak.
What the fuck?
And I would never understand that type of following. It's almost like a cult, I'd hate to say.
Oh my God. It is a cult. It definitely is a cult.
And so I would never understand. And people say like, oh, Obama had such a following, but Obama stood for what was good. And although he had his slip ups like all presidents do, he did not do this much damage. And now this administration is blaming everything on Biden. He's blaming the deportation on Biden. This was his entire congressional campaign that he was everyone's being deported, and now he's blaming Biden that it's going so bad. Biden was never involved in this, and that happened, like, he left office months ago. This is all him, and he's still trying to find a scapegoat. Exactly.
Yeah. Point the finger at someone else. That's ridiculous.
It's just frustrating because it's like, when will you guys wake up? Like, you don't know. You might be next. Maybe he decides he doesn't like fat people next. He doesn't like short people next. He doesn't like tall people because they're taller than him. I mean,
that's kind of true. Like, I have a family member who's in the military, and they recently texted me. They were letting me know, like, hey, what are your thoughts on like the whole Trump, like his laws and stuff that he's passing? And I was like, oh, like obviously they're not good. One of the major things that she brought up to me was Trump has been advocating for no transsexual genders or identities in the military. So what happened at this military institution that my family member was at, they went up to every single military member and they asked them, are you having questions about your gender identity? And if they said yes, discharged.
We are regressing so much. It is scary.
So bad.
And it's not like we've had our rights for too long either. Women couldn't even get credit cards until the 70s. So that means your mothers, your very own mothers could not have like accounts and stuff. Like we only just got these privileges and now they're being taken away because we don't deserve the right. And I know you think, oh, he's not targeting the women. He's only targeting minorities. Who do you think is next? Who do you think?
Yeah.
If you look at the list of who fought for the rights, yes, it started with slavery and then the general minorities and then it was women because women were seen less than any male minority. Like you do not understand as a woman how dangerous this is getting for us.
Absolutely.
And with the ban on abortions.
That in itself scared the heck out of me.
They recently arrested a woman for having a miscarriage.
Yeah.
And sentenced her to time. But they will not sentence a man who has raped a woman to do time because he has a future ahead of him.
Yeah.
And isn't that like, that pisses me off also. Because a miscarriage is not something you control. That is your body physically refusing a pregnancy so much that it pushes it out before its full term. That is not something a woman could control. That is our body trying to protect ourselves and keep ourselves alive. The same reason that vomit is involuntary. You eat something bad, your body can't contain it. You involuntarily
reject it.
Like you throw up.
Yeah.
That is exactly what a miscarriage is. For whatever reason, it would affect a woman. And if it's taking too much resources from the woman, the body will start to reject it because it'll see it as something that shouldn't be there if it's not a liable pregnancy. And that already is a topic sensitive on itself. A woman doesn't want to go through a miscarriage. Do you know how traumatizing that is? You think she would try to have a miscarriage on purpose and then go to jail?
Come on.
You think she wanted that? You think she did that on purpose?
But you know what's even more crazy is that they are trying to flip the script. If a woman has a miscarriage, they are labeling it as an abortion.
They are, because it's a terminated pregnancy, but it's
ridiculous. Like, they
are changing
until
the
they
medical
are in our
terminology.
bodies. Until they are in our bodies, they're gonna understand.
You know what?
It won't. It's not gonna happen.
These men, they're not even men. They're boys.
Men ain't shit.
Uneducated boys in charge of our country.
Uneducated. They're just trying to like one up each other with this whole tariff situation.
Match.
Yeah, with this whole tariff situation, China versus Trump. Like, they are literally going tit for tat.
And then it makes you think when and if his term is over, what state is this country going to be in?
That's what I was
with
asking.
Everybody else in the world. How are we going to recover from?
Oh no! Like, the countries around the world already are sending notices to their people that are living in the country, saying like, don't visit America. Don't go to these places. Like, be prepared. This is what's going on.
And I just feel like we're in a state of denial. Like, Coachella just happened. Everyone's talking about Coachella. Everyone's talking about everything else. And it's just like, no, you guys need to realize they just had that protest.
Yeah.
For every state. And no one covered it.
Nobody covered it.
No one covered it. It was so censored. And then when they did cover it, they just said, oh, hundreds of people showed up. It was millions.
That's it.
It was across the nation.
Yeah.
It was thousands per state. That was a million upon million people protest nationwide. That has never happened that I know of, where every state gathered and protested at the same time about a president. And he's just not getting the memo. And it makes me afraid because What about, like, obviously the Democrats are fighting for our rights in Congress, but it's also getting dangerous for them because just recently, one of the congressmen in Pennsylvania, his house was set on fire because of some of his beliefs.
Yeah, what he's fighting for.
And so not only are they targeting the general public, they are targeting the other leaders we have elected to protect us that are trying to protect us. They are trying to eliminate them as well. The same way they did to every other leader in history.
Yeah.
Who else did they kill? Huh?
JFK.
Who eggs? JFK.
JFK, but you know what?
Like, Abraham Lincoln.
With those presidencies, they were designated to create major change. Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, like they were changing the world. And something or someone behind them did not like that. And obviously, I don't want to say set it up, but I mean, one thing leads to another. How are you going to tell me a president gets killed? Exactly. Same thing with that shooting, with the alleged shooting that happened at Trump's rally. Do you remember?
And when they got his ear?
Yeah.
And he survived. He's a survivor.
That's ridiculous. Like, if it were like not a plot to like set it up, I think it would have gone through. Yeah. They've gotten to the point where they have that image of him like with his fist up or whatever after the alleged shooting in the White House. How are you going to have a picture of an attempted assassination in your White House while you're president? What? What?
You know what?
I
wish someone would. That's all I'm going to say on the...
You know what? But the fact is, after this alleged attempted assassination, whatever happened to the person who allegedly attempted killing him?
Oh.
That person, it's just poof.
Yeah, never found him. There was no trial. If someone tried to kill the president today, there would be a very public trial like there is for Luigi that killed the CEO.
Yeah. Oh, that's another topic.
And that's also very alleged because if you look at those photographs, not to get into this, but that does not look like Luigi. That's not Luigi.
And the fact that they talking about Luigi, the fact that they immediately went death penalty, that's the way that they're going.
It's because, and this is the thing, they are trying to instill fear in the people because they don't want an uprising. They don't want us to fight back. They don't want us to know our power. Them. They don't
want us to know the power that we have.
But I don't think the public realizes that there is like so many of us and there's only one president, right?
There's so many of us willing to
There's
fight.
only one president.
Only one.
There's only one of them. And there's like millions upon millions of us throughout this country.
We can change the way that we are living. We can change our lives. We can change our country for what it was supposed to be from the beginning.
We just can't give up.
Freedom. We have to keep fighting. We have to keep educating ourselves. We have to keep speaking about these issues and these things that are affecting our day-to-day lives. Like, we have to be open and willing to rise up to the occasion and fight for what is right. We can't let this country fall apart even worse than it is already.
I know. And this is not the country I grew up in. Although I grew up with microaggressions, I was happy to be here.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to becoming whatever I could be and owning a house here. And now I'm just like,
I don't want to live here no more.
Yeah, I'm scared of even like if I were to look for a house now, I'm like, what city would I feel safe in?
Yeah.
What community? What neighbors would I want? Because now I'm like, I don't know about the neighbors now. And I had never had that fear before.
Yeah.
And I grew up in East Los Angeles. So that's not even like the best place to grow up if you know. But I never had such fear of staying here and like raising children here. You know, this isn't a world I would want for my child.
No.
To grow up in fear, to grow
Definitely not.
To grow up without education, to grow up without rights.
Yeah. We as a people need to work on our ability to feel empathy for each other and want to understand this other person that I'm sitting next to. What have they gone through? What are they trying to achieve? What can they contribute to my society? What can they do to help make this a safer place?
Exactly. And not to get all praise the Lord on y'all, because I am not very praise the Lord, but we are all one people.
Yeah.
We all originate from the same place, whether it's from Jesus or whatever that is, or I don't know the story. Sorry. I told you I'm not very praise the Lord. Or if it's like from evolution.
Yeah.
Either way, we are all a people.
We all bleed the same way. We all have the same heart. We all are.
We all face adversity. We all have struggles. And, you know, we all just want to live a good life. Like, no one wants to be vengeful and hateful. Like, we just want to live a nice life.
Just want to live comfortably.
It's not that complicated. It's not that serious. It's just, I feel like I'm like principling everybody. Like, just get along. Like, it's not that hard.
The fact that we have to be very vocal about just, we're all friends here. That shouldn't even be a thing. You don't hear of other countries fighting each other like within that country. I feel like this country has gotten so hateful, so vengeful, that you look at this other person and your immediate thought is either you're afraid or you want to fight. Like,
exactly.
That is no way to live. That is unhealthy.
That's a constant fight or flight.
Yeah.
And that is terrible.
Do better, America. We got to do better.
Americans,
we got
Mexican Americans, Italian Americans,
Everybody.
African Americans, every American, Asian Americans.
We all came here for one reason.
Exactly.
It's starting from our founding fathers.
And you know, even those labels were made to still separate us. We really, truly are just all Americans.
Yeah.
So F the labels, you know, just forget your labels, because we are all one people in this nation, and we need to fight for what is right. So I know what side of history I'm going to be on. I'm on the side of history that is with the experts, with the doctors, with the historians. Which side of history are you going to be on? Which side will you say to your children in the future that, oh, I fought for rights, or, oh, I fought
against the rights.
I fought to get rid of these people. And are you going to be proud of it?
Yeah.
Is that something you could sleep at night with, knowing that you fought for something that was wrong? And if you are wrong, it's okay to be wrong.
Yeah, it's not too late to course correct.
Exactly.
Educate
it's
yourself.
okay. It's okay to be swindled, but the point is, you need to learn from your mistakes, and we need to learn as a people that now is the time to really take a look and see that it is now our leader, unfortunately, the person that is leading this country, putting its own people against each other so he could benefit while we're too busy fighting
against each other.
And we just need to really need to take that in and really look at who we need to be fighting, because it's not each other. It really isn't. And, you know, that's
peace and love, guys. Peace and love.
Exactly. I'm just still so upset. I'm sorry. But it's just, I really want to get this point across, because why are we fighting each other?
This is a very emotional and very sensitive topic that not many people feel comfortable speaking about, for fear of what the other person is going to say back.
Exactly.
Like, it is okay to have different opinions, different beliefs, but that doesn't mean that you treat each other differently.
Exactly.
It means you learn, you try to understand the other person, you have empathy for what they are going through, what they're feeling, and you try to be more educated going forward.
Exactly.
You try to be considerate of these other communities, these other people within the same place that you're at. You just got to learn how to be a good neighbor for each other. Like, is that so difficult? Why do we want to constantly tear each other down?
And it's not even about being right or wrong anymore. It's just about doing what's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, do you truly believe what you're doing is right? Are what you're supporting, is that right?
No.
And it's not even a fight anymore. It's truly look at the situation and think about it. Is this right?
Yeah.
But that's all I'm going to say on today's topic.
With that being
we
said,
could keep
guys,
going for hours.
No, honestly. But with that being said, I do wish that everyone listening understands a little bit more where we're coming from and understands that it is not too late to educate yourself and to fight for what is right. Fight for everyone, not just yourself.
Yes. And if you do have strong beliefs, really look and think, are they your beliefs or are they just taught beliefs? Is it something you truly believe? Whatever side you're on, it's not even about sides anymore. It's, do you truly believe it's right? But thank you guys for listening. Again, this was Two Woke Girls. Maybe our next episode will be a lot lighter than this, but we just had to get this out here. We really did.
We had to speak. We had to educate. We have to do our part.
Yeah, our part for fighting.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you.
Have a good day, guys.
Bye.